Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. We're going old school today, and I mean back for those early listeners out there, back to the weird broadcast table and the tile background that looks like we're streaming out of a high school lunchroom. And what I mean by that is it's just me and Dee.
Yeah. So that's a long roundabout way of saying that.
That's a long roundabout way of saying that. And this is how Group Chat started. And Anand just happened to get tied up with something today. So Dee and I are in studio and we are getting to it. We have a lot to go over today. Really, to be honest, today's a good episode of I feel like we just have a lot of different topics to cover to kind of set you up for the week.
Everything you need.
I mean, I'll say, I think that the biggest story of note is we started off by trying to clear up, today is, Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day, formerly known as Christopher Columbus Day.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to talk about the change. Is the change permanent? Is it, there's some signs out there that make me think we haven't all committed to this whole Indigenous Peoples Day thing.
You think?
I think. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about just how deep old Christopher's name runs through the history of our country.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Many other things. We got a hell of an episode. Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey, Dee, happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Happy Columbus Day.
No, canceled.
Uh-oh.
Sign him up, put him on the list, cross out his name. So I don't know where we stand exactly. I mean, my whole life it's been Columbus Day. I know that there is a push for Indigenous Peoples Day. I know that shows up on some federal calendars and stuff. Have we officially switched? It seems like we're still pretty hot on Christopher Columbus, judging by the number of the statues we got here in the country.
So, more than 6,000 places in the U.S. took their name from Christopher Columbus.
I mean, good old Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually the first reference. Apparently, there's a Columbus in Indiana, Arkansas, New York, Wisconsin, not to mention the District of Columbia.
Oh, that's named after Christopher.
I don't think you want to change it to change the C.
Washington, D.I.P., Indigenous
District
of Indigenous People.
District of
People. District of all people, DAP.
Well, their football team, the Redskins, changed their name to the football team. So District of City.
Stick?
Yeah.
It should just be District
of City.
Yeah.
DC. Just thinking about how many things you'd have to change that say DC on it.
Yeah, we're in a pickle.
I would just keep the C. I would just change it.
So what do we do? Do we go through, do we change every name and remove every statue? Because the problem is...
So, to back it up, the reason why is if you look at American history, we've always kind of looked at Christopher Columbus as the guy that found the New World.
Yep.
But what he actually did is got fucking lost looking for India.
Stumbled upon somebody else's world.
Ended up in Haiti and a bunch of other small Caribbean countries. Slaughtered a bunch of people.
Slaughtered them, brought them all COVID.
Brought them all COVID.
Killed them all.
Killed them all. There's a rumor that it's not confirmed because historians just don't have a handle on it, but they think post Christopher Columbus, over 100 million indigenous people were slaughtered. That's insane.
I mean, this guy's freaking, what's his name? The freaking Genghis Khan.
Yeah, and what's crazy is there was a person that went on the third voyage with him, and he documented everything, saying could not believe the atrocities Christopher Columbus was committing. When Christopher Columbus came back from America, he got arrested.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, so even they weren't down with
Yeah,
it.
they were
So he went rogue. I thought this was how things were done then. Oh my God. Okay, well, yeah, but I mean, there's no way. I mean, this is just ripe for a Facebook argument. There's no way we're taking down all these statues and changing all these names, right?
I mean, I think that a lot has been taken down. What I don't understand is if you objectively read this, could you come to the conclusion that there's no reason to honor this? Or is it always going to be, that's not the America I grew up in. We honored Christopher Columbus.
That's the problem. Plus, I think that there's people, I hate to say this, but I think that there's people that secretly admire the white conqueror still.
Yeah.
And I think there's people who genuinely believe white people are superior and came here and made this I mean, I hate to say it, even people that don't admit it, I think that they think that. And seeing that go, I think it's hard for people to, they just want to freaking make America great again or whatever, back when we used to celebrate Columbus.
Yeah, but this dude wasn't even American.
I get it. But he was white. So he's American by my book. I mean, I don't know. But it just seems like, I don't know. I mean, is what's happening tomorrow, in the South and stuff like that? They're like, no, you better say Christopher's name. And
say his name.
And in other places, they're saying, how dare you? Or, because this is far from solved, right? In the hearts and minds.
I think the thing I struggle with is and it's crazy. I was reading an article about a principal in Texas where this, I think right out of Fort Worth, Texas, a upscale, predominantly white conservative neighborhood, has a black principal at one of their schools. And apparently he got suspended.
The principal?
Principal got suspended, and because he was teaching critical race theory, and pretty much, no one in the school had a problem with it. And then a bunch of kind of ethnic kids at school, and it's not a lot of black kids. It's an Asian kid, an Indian kid, a Mexican kid, started protesting and kind of bringing awareness. Yeah, young kids, juniors, seniors in high school. And they interviewed them for this article, and they started talking to them. And I think the interesting thing is, so when you grew up in LA, and I experienced your typical racial jokes. Okay. But nothing, I don't know, maybe one or two incidences in my childhood that were whoa, this is kind of wild.
But never I'm going to get physically assaulted.
Or even when I went to school, I never felt unwelcomed.
Yep, got it.
And listening to these kids, what kids do to them in Texas.
But they were against critical race theory, these kids?
No. What I think their thing was the black principal pretty much wanted to teach a more broader version of...
Oh, he wanted to kill it.
Yeah.
And they said no.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, look, I think that this is one of those cases where some really crazy shit still happens. Yeah. But we just don't see it. Where was the school at?
In Texas.
Yeah. I think LA is just so, even if you go to a place that's majority white, I just think their parents work with people that are different races. I don't know. When I came here from Ohio, it felt like such an exposure to all different types of, it's very, very, very different. Yeah. And I think depending on where you're at in Texas, it probably gets pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and I think when you think about Columbus Day and you think about American history or just world history in general, what's being taught in Europe and India, and it's really the version of history that particular country wants to tell its people.
Yeah, that's
and it's not necessarily the most accurate version of history. Yeah. So I think that's really where I don't know, we have to because I remember growing up when I thought I was told that Ronald Reagan was such a great president. Yeah. And I thought that my entire life until I was
Did your parents love Ronald Reagan?
No, I don't remember.
It was just more of a school thing.
It was you just heard from teachers and oh, Ronald Reagan, he's a great guy, he's a great president. I remember in AP government, even in high school, the guy telling the class how great of a president he was. Yeah. And then I got to college and I got a little bit older and I was like, Ronald Reagan was a fucking idiot.
Can you answer for these couple things?
Yeah. And I think, when you look at Christopher Columbus and you look at there's a great, I think I talked about it in the podcast last year, there's a HBO Max documentary called Brutes. Uh-huh. It's basically all the atrocities
Oh boy.
Countries have done on groups of people.
That's gnarly.
Specifically like Christopher Columbus and that whole kind of movement. It's wild.
Did you see that there's, I don't want to mess this up, but there's a Tesla employee that won like $160 million in a settlement because of how racist the culture is at Tesla?
I think he was like the elevator operator. Is that? Well, I got to double check that now. But I literally read that.
I mean, I don't want to say good for him, because that sounds fucked up. But number one, I cannot believe that whatever was provable, like meaning whatever happened to him must have been provable. So it must have like definitely happened. It must have been very overt.
Okay, so this is what they're claiming. He got $137 million. He was a former black contractor.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was a black former contractor, I think.
Yeah. And worked as a contract elevator operator at Tesla's factory in Fremont, California. Fremont, California, just for people that don't know, is outside of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Shitload of Indians.
Yeah.
It's not like a...
Not crazy white.
No, it's not at all. In his lawsuit that he and others were called the N-word by Tesla employees from 2015 to 2016, that he was told to go back to Africa, and that employees drew racist and derogatory pictures that were left around the factory.
Maybe that's why they're moving to Texas.
That's insane.
It's absolutely insane. And like I said, it had to be, it's not like this guy just went into court and said, trust me, this happened. And they said, all right, here's 160 million. Like he must have had photos of the art and...
Yeah. And I'm sure other employees were brought to...
corroborate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's insane. Like that's something
that was 5 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
This isn't like Christopher Columbus 2000, whatever.
And I'll be honest, this is what's fucked up is if someone just told me like as a friend, hey, that's happening, I'd be like, I don't think so. In 2015 at Tesla, one of the most forward-looking companies, doubt it. It's happening.
I mean, Texas is definitely the right place for Tesla.
Yeah, head on down. Head on down, man. It's not a tax thing at all.
Yeah.
It's fully just a racist thing.
It's like, we could be ourselves out here.
Where's our people? Oh, it's fucked up. Okay, well, listen. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah.
I refuse to say the man's name.
Okay, that's good.
And I wish that my name wasn't Christopher on a day like today. Anywho, did you see that the Twitch streamer earnings leaked? I'm curious your opinion. So let me ask you one thing first. So there was a leak where it showed like 15 or 20 of the top Twitch streamers' earnings from 2018 to current, or 19 to current, something like that. Is this just like essentially like their ad split or whatever? Like you get like a royalty type thing from Twitch?
Well, your subscriptions, like,
got it.
If you're a top Twitch streamer, a lot of people are subscribing to your channel to use those emotes.
So I'll be honest. Let me just give you my perspective. Yeah. As I told you, I wasted 3 hours of my day the other day watching Nick Merckx.
And did you give him any money?
No. He has plenty, it looks like. And because I was caught up in the hype of like, oh my God, there's all this stuff going on. Like Tim the Tap Man's going to YouTube. Nick Merckx is staying on Twitch. It's like this huge thing where people are, essentially these big companies are like buying up the rights to these streamers. And there's a little bit of a battle. Nick Merckx got a private jet, flew his whole team to Vegas, had a huge fight weekend at the UFC fight, celebrated, biggest deal ever, life-changing, all this stuff.
Wow.
I'll be honest though, when I saw that he only made, now keep in mind, this deal would be the deal moving forward, but for the previous 2 years, he only made $5 million. I'm a little shocked. I thought he would make more.
I don't even know what Dungeons and Dragons is. That's
the top guy.
That's his name, or is that a game?
No, the top guy plays that game.
Okay, that's a game.
Critical Role. Yep. So like Nick Merckx plays like Call of Duty and Apex. Like every guy kind of has his thing. Tim the Tap Man, Call of Duty.
Okay.
This guy apparently, his name is Critical Role, earned $9.6 million since 2019.
So the last 2 years.
And his main game is Dungeons and Dragons. So that's pretty gnarly. But like for the eyeballs these guys get.
So that's, I mean, they're making more money off endorsements than they are from Twitch platform.
It just seems to me it's still cheap. That's all I'm saying.
It is, and I think
if you're Twitch.
So I guess that becomes an issue with there aren't enough advertising opportunities on Twitch for brands to like spend money and advertise on Critical Role or Tim the Tatman's channel. That's one opportunity. Two, if subscription is really the play, then yeah, you're going to be limited because think how big these followings are. And if you're only making $5 million through subscriptions, it's kind of nothing.
I mean, these guys are on every day. Like Nick Merckx is, so I would guess Critical Role probably has like 100,000 plus viewers, but Nick Merckx has like 60,000 viewers every day for like 6 or 8 hours.
Oh my God.
Constantly. That is so valuable.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I think it said that Twitch has paid out this year alone $889 million through September, up from $517 million last year. So
like,
gaming is just going through the roof.
So gaming's going through the roof, that's for sure. It's just I wonder, like YouTube's AdSense revenue that they've paid out over the same period has to be like insanely bigger.
So you think people who, because anyone can advertise, right?
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting
Because Twitch, when you're watching, you don't see ads.
Yeah, lots of them.
You do?
Lots of them.
But
for like mainstream shit.
But that this guy has agreed to?
I believe you put in ad spots. Yeah.
Wow.
Like same as YouTube. I think you program how many slots you want to sell. I think.
Oh, then.
And then people go back and watch the old streams and those have way more ads. But they're like big, like Tide or whatever. So it just seems to me like this is one of those moments where Twitch is like getting what they get for very cheap.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
For the amount of eyeballs, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I think this is the point where they blow up. They I'm sure are trying to get more and more people on the platform. I don't know why you would let Tim the Tatman go, but
I mean, it's Amazon. We'll just write him a check and don't lose him.
Yeah, you can own gaming.
Yeah. I
also wonder, I don't think these does Call of Duty pay Tim the Tatman to play their game? I don't think they do.
I don't think so. I'm sure they have now deals with those people.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, if you're a big video game coming out, I would just pay one of these guys.
A shit ton.
Yeah. Because if in that 60,000 active viewer stream, how many unique was during that time? 250,000?
At a minimum, I would say.
Yeah.
60,000 for 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's probably 1 million unique.
Yeah. I mean,
because you know how it looks. We'll do a live stream. There'll be 200 people in our Instagram, but it'll say you had 5,000 uniques. So those numbers are probably insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's cool. It's cool to see an eye into that. Hopefully all these big deals, nobody disclosed how much they made. So hopefully Tim went to YouTube and got paid a bag. And hopefully Nick re-signed with Twitch for a massive bag. And these are kind of the outdated numbers.
Yeah, and I don't even understand. I mean, what is Amazon doing? They spend money left and right. Just write these fuckers all a check.
I bet they might not get it. Because if your whole thing is trying to get eyeballs, think of all the money they're sinking into content for Amazon
NFL,
Prime.
they want to buy Sunday Ticket. Yeah. This is bigger.
You could get all these little gamer kids hooked on Amazon Prime. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, either way, good insight. Love whenever those things leak. Good insight to take a look at. What about, and speaking of gaming, Sky Mavis, that's that
Axie
company.
Infinity.
But what's Sky Mavis?
What's the name of the company that created?
Axie Infinity is the game.
Yep.
So this is out of Thailand? Philippines. And this is the thing that we talked about. Anand said he had a friend over there that was...
Our friend Ken.
Okay, so Ken was kind of toe dipping into this world. And there's all these people. It's like this NFT video game where you kind of mint the NFTs by playing the game. And so there's like almost these like farms of kids playing the game. And we were talking about how it's, access to wealth that these people never would have had a chance to get. It looks like they're making some pretty big moves. They just raised a fucking shit ton of money.
Yeah, they raised $150 million at a $3 billion valuation. And I was also reading a story about one of their early investors, he's 29 now. I don't know when he gave him money, probably late 20s, former hedge fund kid, gave him $100,000 when the coin was at 8 cents. The coin is now worth, let me tell you,
This is like the coin that is minted through this game.
Yeah. It is now trading at $118. And he put $100,000 at 8 cents.
Who was that?
A hedge fund guy. A young dude,
US?
he's 29. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Congratulations. Welcome to 2021. And I saw a TikTok last night. I have no idea if it's true or not, but that like something like if you bought like $1,000 worth of Shiba Inu coin like in 2019, there was a moment when it was worth like $50 million. It went down.
Yeah.
If you look at Shiba Inu, it's like a massive peak down. And then right now we're kind of at the top of a second one that's about 75% of the first one.
Yeah.
But apparently the top of that coin was like...
What's interesting is, I follow all these people on Twitter and I always see these stories reposted of like, I just, changed my family's life with crypto and NFTs and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No one ever shares the story exactly.
No, it's all a little fishy.
I want to know exactly how you made your money.
Yeah.
Like, tell us, I bought this coin, it went up 1,000x. I bought this crypto punk and I sold it for $1 million. I read these stories and very rarely people just say DeFi. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, agreed. Like how, we live in LA, and in LA there's a lot of like shady characters, and there's a lot of guys and gals, mainly guys, let's be honest, that roll around flaunting their wealth, like Tim with his new earrings.
Yeah.
And you're like, how'd that guy get rich? And you never really know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, supposedly he does off price, or supposedly he does, and it never really makes sense. It feels to me like there's more of those than not now.
Yeah, so this is what I really think is what's happening, is that all of these people are actually drug dealers and they just say crypto NFT as the cover.
I like that theory.
I'm a bookie. I'm a drug dealer. I mean, I know more drug dealers making money than crypto people.
I mean, I'm trying to think of how to say this on air without being a snitch. I know of a building in the city that's super nice. A lot of young people living there. And I know that there is just boatloads, boxes on dollies of weed flowing in and out of that place. Every single day. It's just young.
It's not legal.
Tattooed. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to bring it into your front door.
No, I think mostly legal. You're in and out of a store. This is in and out of an apartment building. Yeah. It's a lot of people. It's young guys tatted up with nice watches. And so all that I'm saying is it's more popular than ever. And I don't think the police give a shit.
Well, yeah, especially with marijuana, no one cares.
Who cares, right?
Yeah.
So to me, there's this huge loophole where a young person can be making bank in cash that is doing something that 5 years ago would have been insanely illegal, that now is just completely overlooked.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go get a license and go, you know how hard it is to get a license? You don't have to do any of that shit.
Yeah. Because, by the way, if you get stopped with a bunch of weed in your car, what are they going to do? Call the IRS? They're not calling the police.
They're not. I don't think they even give a shit. I think they're like, yo, I work at a weed shop. I'm going from one location to the other.
Yeah.
I don't have my ID on me.
Yeah.
I don't think they give a shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then what happens is where crypto and NFT come into place, it's a great place to launder your money.
Yeah. And it's a great excuse to be like, oh, yeah, NFTs.
Yeah.
So, everyone's getting rich off NFTs. You're like, yeah, cool.
And you just say, oh, that's the NFT guy.
Yeah.
I remember back 20 years ago when I first started going out to clubs, everyone's like, oh, that guy made money doing this. 20 years later, I know how hard it is to make money. They were all definitely drug dealers.
Yeah. It's literally like, it feels to me like that used to be the case where you would know that person. Now it feels like it's weird to know someone who makes their money and you can explain it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, because I mean, even all the people in crypto, like who on social media, look, I know people personally that have done really well with crypto.
Yeah.
So I'll, and they've done well, but they haven't done like $50 million well.
No.
Like I know people that made $1 million.
Yeah. Which
is great, but you still got to work.
Like a 10X type thing?
Even 1,000X. Like they put in a few $1,000s and they made a lot of money. Like
people that have done that, cashed out successful and have used the money
I know
out in
someone
the real
that
world.
made like pretty young guy that made like $500,000 and like bought a house.
And started with this, what would you say?
Probably less than $10,000.
Got it.
So
It definitely exists, but
Yeah.
it's not fucking every Ferrari you see driving down the road
Yeah, exactly.
in LA. What's the
Urus.
Yeah, every Urus.
Yeah, and that's why, like, you know, everyone says you can really make money doing this. But then I talk to so many of my friends who trade crypto. Nobody's made money.
Yeah.
Literally nobody.
Because it's also so volatile. Even like I said, you could have made 20 million on Shiba Inu, apparently.
Yeah.
But for one day. And then it dropped off a cliff.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like anyone's that sophisticated.
Yeah, the people that are making money are people like Anand, who's held it for a decade or whatever, 12 years. So cool. He's done really, really well. There's other people that have held, but everyone in the last 2-3 years, I guess, I think like these guys were all waiting for this NFT. I don't know, were you here that day?
Yep.
So
I forget what it was called.
Mikaverse, I think, or Mechaverse.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Something like that,
sounds
right?
like it. Yeah.
That it was like a lottery.
Yep. Like a sneaker raffle.
Yeah, which I believe is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it's just how to fool everyone.
Yeah.
That
To get it engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They have the Discord with 200,000 people on it that Jason was talking about. You create all this hype. You just give it all to your homies.
Yeah.
Right.
Let them sell it all to each other.
Sell them all to each other. So you could have bought that. I think it was 0.2 ETH.
Yeah.
Or 0.4 ETH.
That's
for
what
two.
it dropped at?
No, that's what it dropped at.
Yeah.
It is at 8 ETH.
I mean, think about it. You have your 200,000. You drop it to your 100 homies. They all buy it around from each other. Mark that shit up to 100 grand, and then sell it to the Jasons.
Let them crowdfund. Okay, 7 ETH now. Still, it was 0.2.
The other thing is any little tiny downturn in the stock market, and NFTs are gone first.
Yeah,
right.
Because you need liquidity,
and it's like a fun money.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So there obviously was a little bit of a crypto correction a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I think the top NFTs kind of held their own.
Yeah,
like the Bored Apes and the Crypto Punks.
Yeah,
my NFT that I bought continues to struggle. It's down 90% from what I paid for it.
Is it slowly going down still?
Yeah.
That was like a buy for 200 worth $20 sort of thing?
I think it was buy for I bought for like 1,200, I think.
So
and maybe it's worth $100 now.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, look, and I still believe I believe in Bored Ape Yacht Club, I think. And I believe in CryptoPunks, I think. But man, whenever it gets to a point where literally everyone has 1,000 NFTs, it's just, there's no way.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what else I guess, you put this on here, but am I surprised? No, you know what? I'm not surprised by this. Teenagers, the next generation, absolutely, not even a question, hates Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, I hate it.
Are we surprised though?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I think what I was surprised, so there was a Gen Z study that Business Insider put out.
Mm-hmm.
And it said that, it said some pretty crazy things. So the preferred social media channel amongst teens was Snapchat.
Really?
35%. That was rated the highest. Wow. TikTok was 30%. Instagram at 22%. And Facebook and Twitter was 2%. Of that Facebook or Twitter was their favorite social media platform. Instagram was the platform that teens use the most, with 81% of respondents using it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's anything shocking there, except that Snapchat was considered like the fan favorite.
Yeah.
The other things that I thought was really interesting on this list is the favorite celebrity on this particular Gen Z list. You'll never guess. Take a guess who it was.
Do I know who the person is?
Yeah, of course. Megastar.
Lil Nas X.
Adam Sandler.
Bullshit.
I was shocked.
Based on what?
I guess Netflix movies.
Just go with it?
Their favorite social influencer is?
Logan Paul.
No. Female.
Emma Chamberlain.
Yep.
She's big.
Yeah. Look, they're very conscious on the environment, but guess what their favorite, and I did that with the air quotes, conscious on the environment.
For everyone listening.
They eat at, list them off. Okay, take a guess.
McDonald's.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
Yep. You know what that...
Taco Bell?
Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle. Easy.
Starbucks.
Easy.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden?
Yes.
Where was this poll taken?
I mean, suburban teens. What are they eating? Okay.
They're just chowing down on fucking Olive Garden?
And then look at this. They dig brands. What brands do they like? 4 top favorite brands.
Definitely Faze.
No, it's
More female? I'm not going to guess.
It's same brands everyone liked 30 years ago.
Nike, Adidas.
Not Adidas, but
Okay,
Nike.
Nike. I'm out. Tell me.
Nike, Gucci, Chanel, Vans.
Gucci. Easy.
I mean,
these kids are rich.
I don't yeah, exactly. What I don't understand, that every year, every 10 years, there's like a new generation. They go Gen Z, Gen X, and everyone sits and studies them. You have to do a study that kids like Nike, Gucci, Chanel, and Vans. Yeah. Those are the same fucking brands everyone liked when I was growing up. That was 30 years ago.
Yeah, those guys are dominant. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Props to Vans.
Yeah, really prop to Vans.
Props to like skateboard company that, yeah.
I mean, Chanel's so old. It's like 100 years old.
But which one of these kids are affording Chanel anything?
They want it.
Huh. They probably have like the stickers on there.
I don't know if Chanel makes stickers.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think Chanel has to be one of the most knocked off. Think about that double C logo.
Yeah.
Has to be one of the most counterfeited luxury logos ever.
Yeah, I would say Chanel, LV.
Because wasn't there a trend where like it was cool to have fake Gucci? It was like,
yeah,
it was cool.
It was cool until the lawyers showed up.
Yeah, true. Man, okay. Well, listen, I would say the biggest shocker is shout out to Snapchat.
Yeah.
Those guys, I think our generation or whatever you want to call it, kind of wrote them off.
Yeah.
And I think we're wrong.
Yeah, I need to go back on Snapchat just to even understand what the hell is going on.
I think they're messaging. I think it's their favorite messaging platform. I think it's a lot of like close-up selfies of your face with the text over. What are you doing?
I get that the ephemeral messaging idea makes so much sense to me because it's like, in this day and age, why do you want anything in writing?
You know what blows my mind is that Apple hasn't been able to just take that out.
Don't they have that?
I'm sure they do, but obviously the user experience sucks.
Yeah.
But like, how are you letting so many people message on other platforms on your phone that's made for messaging?
Yeah.
You got to nail that.
Yeah, you got to go into, you should be able to go to disappear mode.
Yeah.
And everything disappears.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I want all my text messages to disappear always. There's no point for text to stay on.
Yeah, I agree.
At this point.
Instead, it's impossible. iMessage remembers everything for your entire life that you've had an iPhone, and it never goes away.
Ever. I've seen tricks like on once probably TikToks, but like where like jealous girlfriends can like type in the word like boobs into the search bar, and anytime your boyfriend has ever said the word boobs in a text message, it comes up. Like it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever like done Command F on your computer and just like searched a word, anytime you've texted that word ever in your life, those texts pop up.
That's fucked up.
This is weird.
I mean, that's what like hackers are doing, and then they're just saying all racial slurs and say, "Okay, that person's canceled."
There you go, and that easy. Thank you, Apple. Sheesh. Well, props to Snapchat, man.
Yeah,
we gotta pay more attention. I think.
Yeah, and I think I do believe on your point to messaging. Like, I can't believe that's not an Apple feature. And by the way, like I think in the future I think we're going to live in a world where all your communication has to disappear. No,
yeah.
If you say something when you're 12 years old, your life's over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
look, if you want to keep it, email it.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, I want to make sure everyone sees I said these racial slurs, then you send me an email. Or like sometimes in business, you'll say something and you want it written down that someone acknowledged or whatever. Yeah.
And sure, email that.
Yeah.
But let's get rid of those texts.
There's absolutely no reason at this point. The only thing I like about referencing text messages now, like I have one with my mom and my wife Haley, and there's a lot of kids' pictures in there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can look at info and you see all the pictures,
yeah,
that is the only time I want those pictures.
But Yeah, how easily could you just make a shared? You just make a shared folder.
Album, yeah.
Instead.
Yeah.
You guys did that at your weddings. It was great.
Yeah.
Everyone uploaded their pictures.
Yeah.
Save yourself the trouble.
Disappear. Tex is done.
Get out of here, Tex.
Cancel me. I'll cancel you.
Yeah, cancel you, Tex.
And props to the garden. Olive Garden coming up big.
I can't. I'm mind
It says it's obviously unlimited breadsticks.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it. I bet you these broke ass kids are spending all their money on Chanel and then living off of all you can eat breadsticks.
Well, the irony, the irony of these polls is that they love Nike, Gucci, Vans, Chanel, and the fastest growing Gen Z site is Shein.
That is also true. Instagram versus reality.
Yeah. You're wearing Shein, eating unlimited breadsticks, and walking the fuck out on that bill.
With like a Nike sticker on your laptop.
On your Shein.
Oh my God. Okay. What about, we see Pepsi and some of these big food makers are having some trouble with inflation.
Yeah.
What do we think there? Seems like a pretty real deal. And also, what, supply chain too? Double squeeze?
Yeah, it's crazy how there's an oil shortage, there's a labor shortage, there's a container shortage, there's a boat shortage. I mean, what the fuck is going on? And I understand, but it comes back to the two things that are causing the most amount of headache are labor and transportation challenges.
Yep.
Labor, I don't know what the fuck to do there. If the people don't want to work, you're toast.
You know what else I didn't realize is that a little bit of the transportation problems is also labor.
Yeah.
Like people don't want to drive trucks and stuff, or people don't want to work those shitty jobs. I didn't even think about that.
So on the trucking side of things, I would say looking 10 years out, that'll be autonomous at some point.
Who would have thought? This whole time we're like, autonomous driving is going to take so many jobs. People are long gone before the robots even had time to show up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and from what I know, truck drivers make good money.
I guess I don't know at all.
Yeah, I know one professional truck driver, and I know he makes good money.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing, but when you go down the list of the challenges of all, and this is from Hunt's Ketchup, who does Slim Jim and Pam, and they're saying they're having a challenge. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how much of this is truly transportation labor issues or lack of demand. Everyone keeps saying the shelves are empty. Yeah. I don't go anywhere, so I don't know if the shelves are empty.
I don't either.
I read an article that Halloween stores, shelves are empty.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it. That's a last minute, all at once supply chain thing.
Yeah.
And they probably got screwed.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of people whose businesses are very strong who are having crazy supply chain issues.
Yeah.
It's just, the other thing I think it brings you to is we have to figure out manufacturing in this country right now.
Yeah.
And in that infrastructure bill, the trillions of dollars, we should be giving, more entrepreneurs who want to build. Just give them the fucking money to build the factory.
Yep.
Who cares? Give them a cheap loan. You know how many amazing people? I know people, I've spoken to companies in Germany and in India that have in crazy 3D printing technology. They just don't have money.
Yeah.
Cool. Why don't we tell them, here, we're going to hand you a couple green cards. You build that shit right here so we can have access to all those things.
Yeah.
Because food shortages, that's insane.
Insane. It's really crazy. And I just wonder, I feel like we thought the unemployment's ending, that'll snap everything back into place, or this is ending. It's not changing.
Yeah, and I think to your exact point, they said that a lot of Republican senators were once we end the stimulus, hiring will explode.
Yeah.
It didn't.
No
one wants to work.
But what are they all doing?
Selling weed.
Yeah. They're all living in that building I was talking about.
There's 60 million people in that building.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's even a shortage of Gatorade in Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts.
It is it's so wild.
Because there's shortage of plastic bottles.
It's going to be an interesting holiday.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a lot to talk about here on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see come Black Friday when all those people are storming into Best Buy
And there's nothing there. It's just empty shelves.
I need my $200 TV.
Just fucking NFTs. All right, I'll buy this. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. We will definitely talk about it a lot. Let me tell you someone who, actually, I bet they're having their own problems with logistics and hiring, but they're not having problems figuring out what you want before you want it. And that is Amazon. Not only, do they do an incredible job at literally listening to everything that goes on inside your home. I'm sure, this is me speculating, using that to target you with little goodies. But I mean, you can just say, hey, Alexa, I need toilet paper. And there you go. Now they're working on a fridge that tracks what's inside of it. So, you're low on
Milk.
You get an alert. Hey, do you want to buy this before you even knew?
So Samsung created this fridge in 2016. The problem with Samsung is they don't have a direct line to the grocers. Amazon is the grocer.
Yeah.
It's a game changing.
I drove on La Cienega on my way up here from the airport. There's an Amazon Fresh store being built. So once they really do like the Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, all that stuff, and have fridges in everyone's houses that tell you when it's empty, it's over. How can anyone compete with that?
I mean, that is so monopolistic. Why wouldn't you buy an Amazon fridge? We forget to buy shit all the time.
All the time.
All right, cool. Cheese? Yeah, just send me some cheese.
Literally, I'm a little bit distracted as we're recording this episode because I'm thinking about what I need
the grocery store
to Instacart as soon as we're finished.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Yeah.
And it should just be popped up on my phone and say, hey, you're running low. Do you want this? Yes.
Yeah.
Amazon, and then they're going to have little fucking robots skirting around your house.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you need anything else? I see you in here shitting. It looks like you're low on toilet paper. Looks like you're having a tough time. I mean, you literally...
I see your ass is a little rashy. You need some Aquaphor?
Yeah. Let me get in there. Yeah.
Get that drone in there and fucking...
Exactly. Someone's at the door. The drone goes up.
They're so far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
Good for them. Did Amazon AWS explode during COVID? Was that just a cash machine?
Yeah. I mean, everything was a cash machine.
I know, but think about that. Like even their built-in bank went through the roof. I mean, these guys can't lose.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see because everyone has their at-home products. Apple is probably the most likely next person because they have all these devices with you. But Amazon is the only one doing hardware and real life.
Yeah.
Like they have the grocery store. They're going to buy the rights to NFL. They're going to have your favorite show.
That's what's crazy. Think about the fact that they're going to alert you from their device that you ran out of milk. You're going to order it on their platform.
Yeah.
You're going to get it from their service. And then you're going to go watch your favorite sport on their network.
Yeah.
I think we got to stop these guys.
I mean, here's the thing. I think the easy first step is do not let Amazon make private brands. There should not be allowed to make any brand. Dude, imagine once they find out, Jesus Christ, you know how much milk these people drink?
Yeah.
They're like, fucking
over.
buy all the farms.
Yeah, they own all the cows.
They own all the cows. I mean, you can't let them make their own stuff anymore. They're gonna have the craziest data ever.
And that's what's crazy is you're going to go to your fridge and it's going to say you need milk. Here's our Amazon brand.
Yeah, and it's going to be cheaper.
And you're going to have to exit out of that screen and say, no, I'd like to stick to my regular stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Altadena.
Yeah, we got to step in here.
You know what's interesting? There's a gluten-free muffin that Haley eats called like Glutino, I think it's called.
Okay.
And we normally order it on Amazon from Whole Foods. And it's just been out, whatever.
Yeah. Supply chain issues.
Yeah, supply chain issue on muffins.
Yeah.
So my mom found it near her.
Okay.
So she ordered it on Instacart. And she goes, she ordered from Walmart.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, do you know that same muffin at Whole Foods is $7.99? At Walmart, it's $4.99.
Really?
Yes.
And they just let it go. And Haley never knew all this time.
No.
But also, can you even Instacart Walmart where you live?
I don't know. That we're going to have to look into, but $3 is a shitload. If you order 100 muffins a year.
It's not only $3, it's almost double the cost.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know, man. These guys, it's gnarly. I mean, when you talk about how big Facebook's gotten and everyone's like on them about break them up and all that stuff. Look, I don't know without really, I'm not going to shout break them up.
Yeah.
I am going to say Amazon already has and is really on the verge of an insane amount of power.
Yeah.
And that to me seems way gnarlier than Facebook.
Yeah, Amazon probably should not be allowed to be in hardware at all.
Or pick one.
Or because the problem is like their hardware process is so smart.
Yeah.
Their hardware is linking to Ring, which they own.
Yeah.
Which is going to help take over the home in terms of security.
Yeah.
And all the robots. Their fridge they're building links to their grocery store. They are the deliverer of the most amount of packages.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's going to be pretty.
They're going to own the USPS.
Yeah.
They're going to own. It's all theirs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sick. Whatever. I mean, hey, I get my packages really quickly. I'm down. What about? It looks like Google and YouTube are stepping up to make a change in the world. They're prohibiting ads and monetization on climate denial content. Number one, fuckers.
Yeah.
You've been letting people do ads. Like, I can go to YouTube and be like, hey, I want to run this ad that says climate change is fake. And they're like, yes,
no,
please.
It's not that exactly. Okay. It's more of like, look, if
ads on the content?
Yeah, exactly. So
okay.
But
what would happen?
If you're an advertiser and if you're a clever advertiser, it's the conspiracies and all the bullshit that get the most amount of views.
Yeah.
And more big advertisers probably will stray away. Any smart, savvy advertiser, small business, like, I don't give a fuck if climate deniers are looking at this.
If I was you, I'd be like, did you hear that Adidas uses slave labor? And well, that might be true. Did you hear? Just have an ad for New Republic that's like a conspiracy for people to get into.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, look, YouTube killed the Paul brothers AdSense business.
Yeah.
So this is not a big deal. You should kill all these people's businesses. If you're going to kill all these creators' businesses, you should definitely kill all these.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's just on the other side, there's this weird thing happening where, like, they also removed content and stuff about like the lab leak theory.
Yeah.
And then like real scientists have come out and said that actually is a pretty credible theory. Like it's just giving them the power is the only scary part of that. Now, climate change, of course, you shouldn't be able to monetize that content. But the scary part is if like, I don't know, like a Joe Rogan type character can't monetize because, well, we don't really like, he did an episode with a trans, denier, not denier, but author about it, but whatever. And like, we're going to demonetize that too.
Yeah, I think, So then I guess you either have to have like a set of guidelines that everyone feels comfortable. I mean, the problem is everyone's never going to feel comfortable. Or just fuck it, free for all.
Yeah.
Anyone can make money on anything. Who cares?
Yeah, the problem is I'm not mad at it right now. It's just what it could turn into. Like right now, climate denial, of course. Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
But whatever. We just got to look out for the future, I guess.
The other thing just to keep in mind, I was reading about Facebook advertising. I just found this blurb. The cost to advertise on Facebook is 33% higher than it was in Q3 of 2019. This is before the pandemic. As for CPMs, which is, so it's based on CPM, which is cost per 1,000 impressions. Instagram CPM is up 23%. Google's cost per click is up 23%.
And in the meantime, Facebook and Instagram reporting is horrendous.
Completely off.
So you're paying 30% more and being told that you're reaching 50% less.
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
I mean, I talked to a few people this week who are pretty big Facebook advertisers. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad.
Because what's happening? They're seeing just terrible reporting.
Terrible. Like a lot of people's sales are off like 50%.
Are most people that you talk to just spending anyway with a bad return?
I know one person that's spending no matter what, like balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Just fuck it.
Because what if it's just attribution?
Yeah, and so the thing is, you should be able to see it when you look at your total spend. The way I've been doing it is like, I'll just look at my total spend versus total sales.
Yeah.
If it still looks healthy, I'll keep spending.
Yeah.
Because I know the attribution is off. But I know people who that's not the case. It's bad and they just don't have any other options.
Yeah.
They're sitting on a shitload of inventory and they're just like, fuck it.
It's gnarly. It's a fucking crazy holiday.
Yes, it's really, really, really crazy.
I mean, this is the part where this is the Super Bowl. This is the quarter where everyone has been waiting all year.
Everyone makes their money in the next 3 months.
Yes.
And then
and now you don't even know what the hell's going on or if it's going to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one, look, I think I might be outraged.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big fan of the outrage culture. I think I'm outraged if I'm reading this right. And if I have trouble seeing the other side. Mr. de Blasio is phasing out the New York City Gifted and Talented program.
So in elementary schools in New York City, he feels that it exacerbates the segregation in the New York City Public School Department. And the thing is
Exacerbates what?
the
Inequality?
yeah, exactly. The segregation that like people that go to gifted and talented programs are probably white and Asian is my guess.
Yeah.
Because I went to that growing up and it was white and Asian.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's what he means, and that like Black and Mexican students or Latino students aren't, you know, attending those schools.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only reason why he feels that discrepancy.
But doesn't it seem clear as day to go the other direction, which is like increase gifted and talented programs in those schools?
Yes, I mean, I agree, and I think
we're fucked.
Yeah, it's a wrong way of thinking about it, because instead of you know, here's the thing: when going through the school system in LA and the public school system, there was a clear delineation between in all the schools we went to. There was a regular school, and then there was like the magnet and the gifted program.
And totally different schools?
No, in the same campus, different classes.
Yeah.
And the only thing overlapped was PE and art.
Did you try to beat those kids up then?
No, that's where we got beat up.
Oh yeah, you were in the, oh yeah, shit.
We were in
Is that where you got taunted? Like, what's up, you smart bitch?
Well, you know, it was much, much worse than that.
Was it?
Oh my God. I mean, one of the schools I went to, middle schools, it's called Porter Junior High School.
Uh-huh.
We lived 15 minutes away from the school, 20 minutes from the school. But I went to middle school there. Our friend Ollie went to middle school there.
Yep, smart guy.
Stevie went to middle school there. And it was like at lunchtime, it was just fighting. At recess, fighting. Like there was a time, this kid that I went to school with, who was like in the gifted program,
Mm-hmm.
he was a fighter. He was
gifted fighter.
Yeah, gifted fighter.
Wow.
You would have to go one-on-one with the person behind the handball court, and whoever walks out, walks out.
And did kids like look out like prison for teachers?
Yeah, of course.
And did they purposely target the gifted kids?
No, it was just a school. It wasn't even like that at all. It was just more of like, it was clearly like we were there. We were nerds.
Yeah.
We were there to get an education. They were there to fight.
Yeah.
And that's just yeah. These kids, unfortunately, there was gangs in the middle school.
Yeah.
So they were joining gangs in middle school.
And you guys were joining the debate club.
Yeah, literally.
Guys, let's just take a second and talk about the pluses and negatives of having a fist fight right now.
Blood.
Bloods or Crips? Let's decide. Let's think about it.
And I think the challenge is like innately, and a lot of students are not interested in the traditional education system, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they don't want to learn. It doesn't mean that they may have other interest.
Yeah.
And so instead of saying, oh, all you gifted and talented kids and all your regular kids all going to be treated the same,
yeah,
Instead, why don't we develop programs for people with other interests?
Yeah.
Because that's really the problem, is that like, depending on how you grew up, where you grew up, who your family is, who your parents are, you develop different interests when you're growing up.
Yep.
I grew up, we're Indian. Our parents cared about math and science.
Yeah.
So we were really good at math and science.
Yeah.
And so that was innately what we were taught to care about growing up.
Yeah.
So when you think about other kids, depending on their background, instead of saying, oh, you're not gifted and talented, you can't go to this school, what are you passionate about? Oh, you're into the arts, and let's actually develop an arts program. Oh,
Yeah.
you're into vocational training. Like there are so many people in LA and New York school district, they aren't meant to go and be investment bankers.
Yeah.
But why don't we start teaching them at age 13 a real skill?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's just...
It's so bad. Instead, you're just going to chop off the top.
Yeah.
You're going to eliminate, like, grabbing these kids so look, take out all of the inequality and that stuff just from this part of the conversation. Is like, you're going to take all of these kids at such a key point in their life, need that to be fostered, and just say no so that you're even.
Yeah, and I think the thing that these people don't understand, the damage they're doing, he may be viewing it as like, we have an issue in New York City and I want to balance that out.
Yeah.
New York City is the largest school district.
Yeah. In the country?
In the country.
Yeah.
And we are, as a country, at a kind of cold war with China.
Yeah.
We need to foster our best and brightest.
You think those guys are killing their gifted program?
They're just saying, you're not gifted, go to the farm,
Yeah,
bro.
their whole country is a gifted program.
Yes, exactly.
Or not.
Exactly. Like even in India, like they pretty much have trained the entire population to become engineers because they know that's the future.
Yeah.
And that's how that country hopefully get itself out of poverty. But like, this is fucking joke.
What kills me is we're doing that. We're doing like, the participation trophy thing in sports, where when someone, goes to space with a private business, we're bashing them instead of celebrating that feat.
Yeah.
All like being like high achievement and success and moving forward and all this stuff is like not cool right now. And that's so scary.
I think it is. I think there's just a few people that have hijacked saying that everything has to be equal all the time.
I think is that your hope that it's actually a small percentage?
Yeah, I truly don't believe that's how, if you talk to people in the gifted program and then people who are not in the gifted program, I don't think the parents of those kids are like, no, we need to equal the playing field.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, we're not into this.
Yeah.
Like, and that's okay. So what we should be doing is building other programs to cater to those kids who have other interests.
Yeah.
And then we should be fostering our best and brightest. It's not good for the country for us to be fucking dumb.
I would just die to have a conversation or hear someone have a conversation with de Blasio. And what is the explanation?
Yeah.
How can you poke a hole in it so quickly? And how do you rebut that?
Yeah.
How do you say, well, we're too busy to do all that, so we're just going to...
I mean, I think...
What's the rebuttal? It's crazy. It's also some of the smartest people in our country have made life easier and more comfortable and better health care and better... That's all, like, for the rest of the group.
Yeah, and by the way, he's saying that the system would be replaced by a program that offers the possibility of accelerated learning to students in the later years of elementary school. The possibility.
Plus, you need that shit on the day.
And I'll tell you,
little Johnny says, like, Abraham Lincoln?
I'll tell you.
Get him in.
I'll tell you, as someone who has two young children, I see it already.
What do you see?
Like, I see their development, their interest, how they're going to take on, do they enjoy learning? Do they enjoy reading?
Yeah.
We obviously put a lot of time into reading and
How's Don been doing with all those Terry Pfaff books?
Oh, we flew through those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My mom, for the listener, my mom just loves to send Don books. That's her favorite thing. I'll let her know. Maybe she needs to, do a new shipment for his current age.
Yeah, the real problem with the books now that he's getting into, they're so fucking long.
Yeah.
With a lot of words.
More reading than you've ever done.
Yeah, I'm just like, what am I reading? 14
you get
pages?
the Cat in the Hat. And you're like, fuck this.
Yeah. Before it was like 4 words a page.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I mean, he's got 5-minute stories. He's got a book, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
There's like 14 stories in there. It's gonna take 1 hour to read all these.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he's like, he wants to read the whole book. I was like,
because think about like, I don't know how it works now. I'm kind of stupid to this, but like at a certain point, you're gonna send Dom away for 8 hours of the day.
yeah,
And it's like what he's doing there is so important.
yes,
And if he's showing a knack for something and they foster that, I mean, obviously, this is like the most no-brainer shit in the world.
yeah. And I think, and I understand the one counter is that I'm in a privileged situation.
Mm-hmm.
My wife gets to stay home.
Yeah.
We get to put so much attention into our kids.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll be in a better position because of that. There's a lot of families, most families who can't do that.
Yeah.
So they're at the mercy of the public school system and whatever they teach them. So my view, if that's the case, then we need to instead rehaul the public school system.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, dude, the shit that we learn in school does not prepare you for life. We've talked about it ad nauseum here. Like, forget that you never have, most kids are, in some of these school districts are never going to college.
Yeah.
You're not even giving them any tools to get life started with.
No. But also keep in mind, like, I don't know why or where or if they still do this, but I was in a gifted program too. And keep in mind, I'm talking like 5th grade, hillbilly, Ohio public school. They at least had something that was, I don't know what the fuck I learned that the other kids didn't.
Yeah.
But they still had a gifted program.
Yeah.
My brother like started college a year early because he was so fucking gifted,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know exactly. I don't remember what the setup was, but like even in middle of Ohio, small town public school, we still treated
Yeah.
those kids differently.
Yeah.
No other kid had the opportunity. My brother had the opportunity, I think it was a year or maybe even 2 years early to start going to Akron U
Wow.
and start looking at what classes he wanted to take and was taking full-on classes and getting credits 1 or 2 years early because he showed the ability to do that. So my thing is like, why don't you just go to those schools and build better programs as opposed to taking out the doctors and scientists that are going to
Save humanity.
Yeah, I mean, you think the guys who came up with our mRNA fucking vaccine in a year weren't in a gifted program?
Yeah, I mean, they were all in gifted
You
programs.
want to have a wonky vaccine, take that kid out of the gifted program
All
in
right,
6th grade.
we all have the J&J.
Everyone has a
We
chance.
are all J&J.
How about this? Everyone has a chance to make up the vaccine and we just go for it because no one's special. It's great.
Yeah, that's the problem is that like in our society, we have to, everyone should be treated differently for what you're good at. Like if you're good at something, you're going to get treated differently. It's not, it's a meritocracy at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's scary. But look, I don't know. I think that I do have hope that some of this, like what I would consider wokeness is going so far that I don't think it'll stick. Like, I think that like, are you really going to kill NYC gifted programs forever and that's it? And that's the end of the story? I mean, I really hope not.
So he only has a few months left as mayor, and the person that is in the chance of most likely winning said, I will repeal this immediately.
And that's a Democrat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think. We need a solution, a better solution than now, but it's not that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, there you go. Welcome to Group Chat. Thank you for listening. Hit us up. Do we have any shout outs?
I thought we had maybe one. Let me double check. Well, one thing I want to shout out is we need to make sure you've joined the Discord if you haven't already.
I just did.
And then there's a lot of interesting things happening there.
Yep.
Oh, we do have a shout out from Katie from Boston, Massachusetts. Shooting out a big shout out to
Huge.
Ken, her boyfriend.
Oh.
He's been a fan of Young and Reckless a long time.
Ken.
And he's running his first marathon, the Boston Marathon.
Nice.
He ran the virtual one last year, but he was able to get into the real deal this year and run for charity.
Boston
he raised
strong.
exactly. He raised several $1,000s for his charity, which helps to get kids in underserved communities active and combat childhood obesity. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ken.
Between working from home full-time, training and fundraising, Katie is so proud of you and can't wait to scream my head off and watch him crush it.
Go,
As
Ken, go.
a marathon runner myself,
Yeah, you did it.
let me tell you something. It's fucking miserable.
It's miserable, Ken. So good thing you're motivated by a good cause because you're going to need it. 'Cause from what I hear, Dee's vision went blurry and he started blacking out at about the last 2 miles.
Yes. It was a painful experience.
Yeah. My friend ran a marathon recently for charity, and one of the guys at the boxing gym, so they're really fit. And he said it was like in Santa Monica, and the finish line essentially was like the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
And he said, I could see the Santa Monica Pier, but it was literally just blurry, like floating around.
Yeah, that's the LA Marathon ends there too.
That sounds like my worst nightmare.
I literally, I had never, seen stars before.
Yeah.
And I literally was, seeing stars.
Yeah, fuck that. You just gave me everything I need to make sure I never run a marathon. But Ken, good luck, man.
Yeah.
And kill it out there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And Ledger, we have a big partnership we are announcing with Ledger. We are going to start trading live on Ledger. And
do they trust us to are they expecting us to make super educated decisions, or
no? I think
we can have fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Okay.
So if
Anand can make the smart decisions.
Well, I think we're gonna make it a competition
against each other.
Yes,
and see what our portfolios were.
Yes,
I like that. I'm going Shiba.
So if you guys want to join us,
I'm going all the most fucked up coins. Yeah. I'm just hoping one.
And it could be NFTs, it could be coins, it could be anything.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to join us, get a Ledger, download and create a Ledger Live account. We'll walk you through how to do all that stuff, but that's going to come soon. That's going to be a pretty fun thing. And I think it should be like a competition where everyone puts up $1,000 who wants to enter it, and the winner gets 10,000. Whoever.
Yeah, we should let people invest in our portfolios.
Yeah.
So who do you want to bet in?
Yeah.
You know, Anand will have fucking $200 grand.
Yeah.
You know, but
then if one of us win, we take all the money.
Yeah. Do we get to keep what we make?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going straight up fucking TikTok strategy. Yeah. I'm gonna say, well, my thesis is Bill Crypto 7 here says that Cum Rocket is actually about to make a comeback.
It's coming back.
It's coming back in a big way.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, good shit. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. Everyone have an incredible week. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.